The last technique I want to talk about today has to do with setting up the oppositions in your story. This is found in the character chapter. A big part of the success of your story, especially in the middle of the story, has to do with how you set up the oppositions. And when I talk about setting up the oppositions, I'm not just talking about setting up the opposition between hero and main opponent, which most people know about. That is certainly the most important relationship in the story. But a professional goes far beyond that. Setting up oppositions also means setting up the oppositions among all of the secondary opponents versus the hero. And setting up an opposition between the allies, the friends of the hero. This is something most writers do not know about. Now, in comedy, the setting up of the oppositions is even more important than virtually any other genre. Because in comedy, it not only sets up how the story plays out, it also sets up the comedy, the laughs. And of course, comedy, we have this extra burden, which is we don't have to just tell a good story, we have to make people laugh. That's tough. Now, most people think that a good comedy comes from a writer who's good at telling jokes. Not so. A good comedy comes from someone who knows how to set up the comic oppositions in the story, because those are the oppositions that create the jokes and that make the jokes build steadily from beginning to end. Let me give you as an example the film Knocked Up. Very successful film the last few months. Not only at the box office, but also with critics. Now, we start off with the main opposition between the man and the woman. This is a romantic comedy, right? So that will be the main opposition. And because it's a romantic comedy, this main opposition will be built on the concept of the odd couple. In real life, if two people are very different and get together, they don't last very long, right? But in a story, right, especially in a romantic comedy, we have a very big problem, which is that a love story, by all rights, should last about 10 minutes. Right? Two people are attracted to each other, the rest is negotiation. It's not going to take long, right? We got to fill 2 hours, not 10 minutes. So we have to come up with the main opposition with two people who are as different from each other as possible. But that sets up another problem that you have to solve as the writer. Romantic comedy is a very contrived form, and this is one reason. When you make two people very, very different from each other, it starts to stretch believability. And in this case, it really stretched believability. A lot of people didn't believe for 1 second that this mature woman would ever sleep with this Neanderthal guy. Right? She could be blindingly drunk and she would never sleep with this guy. And a lot of people in the audience couldn't get over that. Right? But a lot of people did. And there are some real advantages to setting up this extreme odd couple opposition of mature woman versus man-child. First of all, it gives us the basic storyline that the entire story is going to rest on. But second of all, it gives us the main comic opposition that we're going to generate almost all of our jokes from. But the real key to this script is in how the writer set up the opposition among the allies. In the typical romantic comedy, the guy's ally would be a single man who has no success with women and proceeds to tell his friend, our hero, exactly how you're supposed to handle women. And of course, he will be completely wrong. Her ally would be a single woman who has no success with men, who's going to tell her friend exactly how men are, and she'll be completely wrong. You set up that story, you have a nice little dating comedy. Instead, The hero's allies, Ben, is not one man, but a group of adolescent boys in men's bodies, right? It's a whole bunch of them. Allison's ally is not a single woman, but a married couple whose marriage is worn thin. Notice this takes the story beyond just a little dating comedy to a story about how men and women live their entire lives, about major life choices that will determine everything. And the writer, through the allies, is essentially giving people in the audience two extreme life choices. On one extreme, you can be an adolescent man your entire life and have total freedom, but no love and no children. The other extreme, you can be a permanent couple, right? You've got love and you've got kids, but at least in this particular case, no freedom, no sense of self, and a constant realization that you're growing old. This book represents a lifetime commitment that I have made to the art of story. And I have tried to put everything I know about story into this book, but done it in such a way that they are practical, specific techniques that you can use and apply to your story. I believe that whether this book is a success or not will depend on whether you can use these techniques to write the best story that you can write. And if that happens, I will feel it is a success. Thank you very much.